Hello, folks. Slightly slanted sleuth coming at you. All by my lonesome. Hi. But Jack had to take care of his wife. She's not feeling good, I guess. So it's just me, you, and the laptop. But I want to say hi, everybody. How is you? What's up, Thoth? What's up, Miles? What's up, Paula? How are you? Yvonne Gordon, are you still here? Hello, folks. We were going to do a show tonight about psychic defense, meaning to tune out the bull, the BS, the nonsense that is of the television, live vision. And, just wanted to point out that it seems everything can get piled upon us, right? Stuff can go haywire at any given moment. That is the indifference of this world, right? Who else is here? It says I got 6 people here. So who's in his house? But yeah, I'm not going to shave this thing until I go back bowling. I said when COVID's done, but I don't think that's going to ever go away, at least in the media's perspective. And I don't want to go down any rabbit holes and saying anything's fake or anything's contrived or, because it seems like every time something happens, there's a conspiracy theory that fits it. And people tend to jump on it. Like, I've heard a couple today that, that Floyd died in 2017 and all this nonsense. Matters not to me. All I know is what's going on in the world today. And what's going on in the world today is, that's despicable what happened. But I think the uprising around the world is due to the anxiety that is set before us by the media. But that's what we were going to talk about today. But Jack, he's not going to be with us, so it's just me, you, and the laptop. And nobody wants to answer me in chat. Oh, there you are. Hey, what's up? What's up, MCF, Michelle? Free Press 666. Hello, how are you? We're in this reality, just not of it. Agreed. Yes, agreed. Winston Breaks, what's up? Yeah, we are of this world. And it just brings me to an excerpt out of the Emerald Tablets. Man only exists on that which resists. The earth must resist man, else he existeth not. Everything has its push. Everything has its, it's like the lens law or, the equal opposite reaction. We exert a force and a force is exerted upon us. Acceleration, loss of inertia, yada, 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 right? It all comes back to, what's up? Peace, love, and sunshine. Hi. We are made of meat and blood like all the other creatures. Yes, we are. But there's something that sets us apart. We are self-aware of what we are. And there's another aspect to us that separates us from the animals, that makes us, the pinnacle of the animal kingdom. There's no coincidence, the pineal and the pinnacle, But yeah, guts, hearts, spleens, livers, etc. You operate a human body, but you're not the body. Know this. This is true. This is true. Oh, and I'm overlapping Milky Way's show, huh? Sorry, dude. I'm sure you'll get your peeps over there. I'll go over there if I end this short. But yeah, souls with bodies, not bodies with souls. We are like Ken Wheeler likes to say, we are just merely a vessel. Yvonne likes to say it too. We are a vessel receiving a signal, an energy, God's energy, or the energy of the all. That's how I see it. But yeah, escape your body, prison. Just give me all of your stuff first, right? Souls with bodies. And I was reading something in chat that Yvonne was writing about, and she believes that the meek will inherit the earth. And I tend to agree with that. And I think there's many levels to what that statement means. The biggest is that the one with the most I don't know, childlike aspects, innocence, or just loving, unconditional love will inherit the earth. And that's on the spiritual level, and that's maybe on the physical. So, etheric essentials, what's up? How are you, my friend? That is just a theory. No soul has been proven. Well, okay, Miles. Prove there's oxygen. Prove there's air. Prove there's ether. Prove there's, it's not there, but we know it exists, right? What do you think all of the ancient writings were about? What do you think all of this stuff is about? To live in the toxic wasteland that is left. Hallelujah. Right. I think it means that all of the other people will kill each other to be ruler of the planet, and some of the meek slaves may survive. Nah. Consciousness is soul. Yes, yes, it is. I mean, that's all is mind. And yes, consciousness is the energy that makes it go. You could say that consciousness is JoJo that made it go, right? Consciousness is the energy. And, there's no coincidence. There's magnetite in our brains. There's, and everything is of a magnetic dynamo. I mean, everything's the right hand rule, and, the right hand of God. The right beam of the light is longer than the left. Righteousness, nothing is by coincidence. To live in the top. Reality is holographic. With electricity, you can separate the oxygen from the hydrogen in water. That is proof of oxygen. Okay, right. But I mean, you know what I'm talking about. What's up, Mary Kay? How are you? Soul animates us. Spirit is our essence. What's up, Odie? I think spirit is of the world, and the soul is of the all. I think the spirit of man is when you are in the earthly realm using your senses. That's the spirit. And the soul is our essence. Yes. So yeah, I would agree with that. I think it's the ones who've been able to integrate their shadow will be the ones that inherit the earth. But that's just my thoughts. You're dead on there. You're right on the money. That's exactly what it is. Because you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. That whole deal. Always there. Because we are always present in the now. Sorry, in the now, The shadow is the animal. Humans are part of the animal brain and higher brain. You can meet your higher self to know the real truth. Yes, you can. And your higher self is my higher self. Or, I'm not talking smoking a joint and meeting your high self. Self-preservation of the animal has been removed from the slaves. Well, you could say that, but I know not of the nonsense I dwell not in. That's, I don't think about this. Armed men come to take you away. Do you fight them as would any other animal, or let them arrest you? Uh, if I see them coming, I grab my weapon. If they're cops, I let them arrest me. And, what choice do you have? So I agree, you are not, right. So yeah, what was your point there, Thoth? But so we, you, me, he, she, we, all are on this planet to find our true self through the nonsense of the indifferent world, the evil world. There's no coincidence in the word live backwards is evil, and lived is devil. So to live is to be evil, to be a devilish or evil devil. So that means that, through all of the struggle and strife, if you keep your mind towards the light in the spiritual essence of our true self, in the knowing, even if you don't know what the Bible means, if you put faith in them words, eventually it will come to you because you have your heart in the right place. The desire is there. That's the way I see it now, where that's what makes it hard for the seeker to tread that path, is because it's there in front of us, behind the illusion of the five senses of our world. Like this, poof, no parking on the dance floor. Yeah. Danny D, what's up, sweetheart? Okay, presence, a gift. How people don't have self-preservation. Plain ET Earth means dirt. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Key. Lived and devil are polar opposites. Devil is that which ends your life. Listening while making a zombie doll. Nice. Same as live and evil. Evil is the opposite of life. It kills you. Life kills you, Miles. You are born dead. We are born dead. That's the point. Through the death, the real life is achieved. Through the process of the death, for you're going to die. So therefore, you give yourself to the whole, to your true self, to the oneness that is. So all of the division that is in our world is there to test us daily on every level. That's why it's there. That's why there's a current in a river, and that's why there is the wind in a storm. There's always a push to your pull, or a give to your take, a yin to your yang. That it's that reason right there that life exists. For earth must resist man, else he existeth not. The earth has to resist us. And the earth is the life. We are born dead. By constitutional law, a cop cannot arrest you if it goes against your constitutional rights as a human being. Your all creators act like it. It's also lawful to defend yourself against unlawful arrest. Yes. Love you too, Danny D. When you die, you awaken. Yes. What's up, Maxie? How you doing? Seth Dominus, I haven't seen you for a while. Yes, we are here to navigate the evil to attain truth. Yes. For for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, for he who shall believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. Now there's the profundity of that statement, the profound nature of what that means to me now is way beyond just what that verse is, on a generic level. To me, that is the attainment, the liberation from the cycle, because everything is a cycle. We are in this cycle. We are here to navigate the evil, to attain truth, to enrich in the spirit. Yeah, the soul, our soul, because your soul is my soul, collective soul, just different aspects of it, like fingers. Okay, now nature, you look at any nature map, any um, Earth, Google Earth, the map, of the globe, and you see the rivers, like the Nile Delta, the fingers, the fjords, the channels. That's like our capillaries in our lungs. That's like the arteries in our arms. That's the rivers, how they split off. That's the tree branches. That's the that's the completed tree of life, is those branches that goes from seed to seed. And my point with all of that was, I forget, and I'm getting bit up by mosquitoes. And this cycle is ending. Yes, it is for some of us, but it goes on eternally forward. You know, for this energy that we are today could be transmuted to something entirely different, but it's the same energy, you know. Tree of life for the rich, tree of death for you. The tree of life is the 10th Sephiroth, the Sephirotic tree of life, the Kether, Melkuth, the Shakma Bina. It's the 10 planets. It's the 10 rings of Atlantis. And I wanted to get into that too, the Atlantis thing. Atlantis is an allegory for the mind. It's there's no there. I was watching the History Channel today, and watching that Giorgio guy, and searching for aliens or whatever his show is now. But it used to frustrate me when I'd watch them shows, because they're talking about Anunnaki and how they came and changed our DNA and all of this other stuff, which they very well could have. But my point with that is that he's talking about Atlantis like it's a physical place. He's talking about the island of Santorini, where the Cyclops, or Malta, where the Cyclops used to, the giant Cyclops. And those are just stories of the mind as well, of the light. The Cyclops is the single eye, the pineal light. And but Atlantis is 10 rings, just like the tree of life, the Sephiroth. It's on down the board. It just shows you, the walled off cities are the two lobes of the brain. All yada yada yada. I could go on and on and on. Maybe the change mark of the beast to mark of the gates, and close the airports due to lack of knowledge. COVID Bible verse. I got wild peacocks making those sounds. Those are not. I love peacocks. How do you feel about gematria, Sleuth? Don't get me started on that. Money causes more worry and care than it's worth. Right. Yes. Cyclops, psyops, a single view. In the future, they can say that all this stuff took place according to the Bible prophecy. But you're not getting it. The Bible prophecy is not about prophecy of the future in the physical sense. It's about our path to God, to our true self. That's know thyself. Knowing thyself is finding thyself in the nonsense of this world. To have the discernible wherewithal to stay the course in the search for the truth is what it's all about. You can be taken down every rabbit hole imaginable. And at the end of every one of them, you're going to be left going, now what? Now, the truth leaves you wanting more. It doesn't leave you with a question, now what? You get the now what. The truth always delivers, you know? And what is truth to me is truth to you. There's but one truth. Else all be false, right? To the gate of hell, good one. What are you guys talking about? Because people will see and read things into it and never think. Right. Suggested lockdown 312, like 12/13, Friday the 13th, right? You see thy path within yourself revealed, yes. I think the lockdown was a test to see how far they could get with draconian measures. I think it was divinely set before us, guys. You know, I think we have to understand. Sure, there's malevolent forces in this world, but like if this show was supposed to be, what the title is about the show is media manipulation, mind psychic defense. Now, to defend oneself, one has to detach oneself from the nonsense when it comes to mind matters. The nonsense is anything that doesn't help you find yourself. So I'm not saying ignore the truck when it's coming to run you over either. I'm saying with all your might, push against the sense of wanting to always be right. Push against the sense that everything is in a literal, physical, touch, taste, smell, see, hear fashion, and see things in a deeper meaning, a soul intent, because that's what we are all. It are fractals of that soul. You know, we all have the energy of the all in us. Everything that we see, look at, everything is of the same clay. Now, are you going to become a diamond in that field of clay? Or are you going to stay the mud in which the lotus flower springs from? You know, the lotus, the prettiest flower out there, is born from the swampiest substance, the muck, the mire, just like we are to be. That is Vishnu with the lotus coming out of his belly. The seed to seed. You know, Jack had to take care of his wife. Great sign in heaven happened, though. That wasn't faked. Bill and Ted 3 rhymes with 911. True, Steve. I saw a planet of the crossing, but I only changed years later and only within. Yes. Paula, the scriptures, I just explained that, I thought. from what I see anyway. I don't know if it's right or not, if I'm right or not. The lightning bolt hit the obelisk of the Washington Monument. Intuition can, your pineal is intuition. Yes. Whoa, Ted, you are like totally old. Yes, I am. Whoa, Bill, you are old and hideous. Yes. What's up, Paul from Newcastle? How are you, bud? Men's is in the house now. Hello, Free Press 666. Glad you could join us. Seth Dominus, like I said, I haven't seen you for a while. I'm glad you're here. But yeah, the energy of the heavens have great effect on us as we are born and onward the God's making and playing us until we rise above. Yes, agrees Steve, but to survive in the physical, best to know what's going on in, yeah, I agree, but what, okay, so you you believe it's true that COVID was fake. Now what? You believe it's so that George Floyd didn't really die. Now he died in 2016. Now what? Where has it gotten you knowing that? Really? Where has it gotten you? Where will it get you? Now, there's certain evils of this world that we must not lie by the side of the road and just let happen. I do understand that. But there are things that are contrived and made up in our own minds to help us make sense of things that we can jump on all over the place. Every rabbit hole I've ever jumped down, every one of them has left me saying, now what? Except for the truth. Except for the truth. And in my channel statement, it says, my sole intention is to find the truth, whether it be the other gunmen at the grassy knoll or, a planet coming at us in the sky. Now, for me, Nibiru is a place of crossing within us, usually to do with rivers or ferry boats, meaning the river Styx, the spiritual path, the abyss that we transverse before we see the light in the event. If we all knew the truth, no one would be no worries anymore. Right. This is true. But there is but one truth, else all be false, because you cannot have two things that are true in the truest essence of truth. You can have half truths, you can have complementary truths, but there's but one truth in the end. And that's what the pyramid represents in all around the world. The pyramid is at the base level, you bring in the clay, the information from all sources. Then you make bricks, which is the comparisons of that information. Then bricks start fitting together, giving you proportion, building you up a structure. That proportion finally gives way to measure when you get to that one point of truth. And then you all of a sudden, boom, you understand. You shine like a diamond in a field of clay. Now, all things of this world are made of that. All things are clay to become bricks, if you know what I mean. The truth will set you free. I have seen the light. Let there be light. On and on and on, Can't mess with my emotions. Seeing a planet won't change you, I know. What does knowing the truth of George Floyd, now they can mess with my emotions and trick or fool me? I am free from lies. Okay, so it was a passenger seat, when he turned around, why his wife tried to get out of the car. Do you know that the CFR is a group of old money and corporations and control the media to bring open mind but filtered? Yes. What are we talking about? Wells wrote about, okay. The ruling classes have always kept the peasants weak and sickly by meddling with their food supply. No more fooling me. I see and know the truth. Okay, so now what, Paula? So you think that's the truth. Now what? What has it done for you though? What has it made you? Has it brought you to your true self? Have you found the truth, the real truth? Nothing but the truth. So help you God. You know, have you found it by knowing those things? That's my point. I'm not saying you're in the wrong for doing it, because I've done it millions and millions of times. You know, the Mandela effect, which is quite intriguing actually, because I've jumped on that bandwagon recently with a friend, talking back and forth about Bernstein and where we're at in the Milky Way galaxy, all of that stuff. You know, where do you guys remember us in the Milky Way galaxy? Huh? Steve, I think there are many layers to the Bible. Could Nibiru be both a spiritual crossing and a physical object? I don't think so. I don't think so, because Nibiru is a place of crossing, and it no, that was all made up by Sitchin. All of the research I've done into the cuneiform writings and all that stuff, Sitchin made up what he wanted to make up from what was there, like the Anunnaki coming from a planet of crossing, coming from Nibiru. Well, they came, Anunnaki means Sky Father on Earth. Anu, Sky Father, Na, on, Ki, Earth. Okay? So they are the fallen, or the Nephilim, or whatever you want to call them, you know, that came here, which is us, because we came from Nibiru, where heaven and earth collide in our minds, inside of us. That is the place of the crossing. When the cross and the circle combine, the two become one. You know, the Jesus prophecy, when two become one, and God will come for his bride, because we are the bride. All humanity is the bride, female, male, transgender, whatever, you're still a bride. Everything in creation is the bride. God is the male. And the only begotten Son is created through us with union with God, our true higher self. Did you know that America is a corporation? Yes, I knew that. Floyd, could you have really been killed? They do kill people all the time. They only show the black killings to keep the racial. Okay, now that was another thing about this. You're right. You're right about that thought. That was something I was going to address today, about the media manipulation. The media manipulation is just like the guy on YouTube who's trying to get the clicks, who's trying to get the views, who's being sensationalized, clickbaitish, because, and I don't know if there's a nefarious branch of elites behind it all. I like it when I just go boof, no parking on the dance floor, boof. But yeah, truths are lies and lies are truths. Right. How else do you wake up if you don't start somewhere, like the Mandela? Right. You're right about that. You're right. The police murder people all the time, more white people than any other race. Okay, now this was brought to my attention yesterday about the race thing in the media, and I started paying attention to it. And I'm listening to NPR, Minnesota Public Radio, the last place you would think you would hear anything that was racially divisional or divided or divisive. And they're spewing off the news about the Floyd thing, and and they the lady says, yeah, ex-police officer Derek Chauvin, a white man who knelt on the neck of George Floyd, didn't say Floyd was black, but pointed out that the cop was white. Just I think she did it, unconsciously, just without thinking about it. And it kind of struck me, and I was like, wait a minute. And then a little while later, same kind of thing happened, but it was with some other subject, but it's the media, because I'll walk around all day. I play basketball. I lived in the hood forever. And I'm not saying that, living in the hood, you see more black people, but around here you do. Now, I'm not saying anything to provoke anybody or to piss anybody off. It's just the fact of the matter. I've lived in the hood my whole life, and I've been with all walk of people. Now, there's not racism per se between races, nor is there racism between the cops and the people in the hood. It's the cops all think that people in the hood are doing something wrong, whether you're white or black. It matters not what your color of your skin is. And there is truth to that. Black people are getting mistreated, as far as pulled over all the time, and just instantly stereotyped, yada yada yada. But if you're in the hood, you're stereotyped, period. Especially if you've been seen in the hood before, because I've been beat down in my front yard just like Floyd was by that cop. Hogtied, maced, thrown in the back of a squad car, couldn't breathe, all of the above. But never knelt on my neck like that for 8 minutes. And I mean, that was unforgivable as far as humanity is concerned. Anybody in authority should not do that to another human being. Anybody should not do that to another human being, period, because that was sick. That being said, we don't know the circumstances fully, but still, the video told the truth. Or we seen what it was. It was nasty. It was wrong. Now, the media instantly jumps on the white black thing. Instantly pushes it. And, of course, black people are going to be up in arms. So are white people. But I mean, the history of our countries dictates that, they're hurt. Like the Native Americans are, the Caucasians of this country, of our ancestors, did some egregious things, right? Oh, wow, I'm way behind. I am white, noticeably Irish, and living in tougher neighborhoods. I see police more judgmental of class than color. Very true. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Right. Media loves that chaos. They do. Because media is sensationalized. They want to shock you, so you stay there and watch their news, right? And see their ads. So they're worth more. Just like the guy on YouTube who wants to, give you all of the nonsense of the day, and paint it up as something that's, conspiracy, reptilians are shape shifting, and they're eating babies everywhere, and all this other shit. We can make up all kinds of stuff just to make everything, and that's my point. Is all of that nonsense. I'm not saying it's not real, and I'm not saying it's not pertinent, but at the end of the day, you go down the rabbit hole of, I don't know, Queen Mary or Queen Elizabeth eating babies or cooking babies or whatever, and you go down that rabbit hole, You find out that all the blue bloods are this, and they're elite, and they're connected to the Bank of America, or all of the Corporation of America, the Bank of the world, the central bank, and yada yada yada, the Rothschilds, the Bilderbergs, and you go down the Epstein, and you see all of this stuff coming at you, the Mandela, the Nibiru, the Planet Nine, the cancer, the drunk drivers, the rapists, the cop killers, the cops that are killing people, the mosque killings, Christchurch killing, the all of this stuff, the gun issue, everything. Think about it, folks. Chaos is the day. As the day is long, the chaos is building. Now, the entropy of this system is being set exponentially, chaotically, more chaos ensues. Now, from that, though, we must calm, be still, know that at the end of the day, we can internalize all of it, change it from within us first. That's where it starts. We could go out and riot all day long. We could go out and loot all day long. We can get a message across. But is it going to last? Is it going to be a message that will stand the test of time? Every revolution of our world has ended where? Okay, so yeah. We fought against the Japanese. We're friends with them now. We fought against the evil empire or Germans, we're friends with them now. Even recent times, Rocket Man, Kim Jong-un, we're friends with him now. The world is a stage. Whether or not the players on the stage know that they are players in the game, or they're just befuddling it through it like the rest of us, I know not. And I'm not going to even try to dive into that soup of nonsense, because that nonsense to me is not my path, I guess, because I want to find the truth. Alice in Wonderland, just kept going and going and going, falling down the hole. All of the stuff just kept coming at her. Right? Has anybody seen my brother Jabberwocky? Who's here? Haven't seen it for years now. Fluoride, you're bathing in it. The one I saw it too. I've seen some weird stuff in the sky. I've, I thought I've seen. You never hear of insectoid hybrids. It's pretty wild. Will there be lawsuits if proven in court? Most everyone is sick. Imagine a government being sued by its entire population. Well, isn't that hey, the one, what's up? You're part of the blue crew now. But so isn't that what just happened? I mean, isn't that what the stimulus package was? I mean, if that's not enough to just alert you to it's all just a freaking shit show. I mean, they just sign away $3 trillion to the American public and to the country, just by the stroke of a pen. Boom! Here's $3 trillion, folks. What does that mean? Just to keep the confidence of the consumer at a certain level. Maybe that's what it was all about, but I'm not going to concern myself with that. Derek Bros is covering the fluoride trial in San Francisco. Fluoride lawsuits, I remember hearing about those since 17 or being, I have never heard of that. All the proof is in the movies. Hey, brothers, my kings and queens. Yes. The world is a stage. and each must play a part. Some play the part of the blind man, and others play the part of awakening, and others play the part of a helper like me. Okay, Paula, so you're helping. What are you helping do? Don't you, you're helping spread the word of what you find as your true self-knowledge, or you're spreading a word of what somebody else's word is? You know what I mean by that? I'm not mocking you or anything. I'm just, what do you help do? You know, what are you, and I know you help because you've helped me, but I mean, as far as the awakening, you know, what is the awakening? I know it starts somewhere. For me, it started in the sky. So I'm not knocking anybody's path to the ineffable truth. You know, the truth is ineffable. Helping pawns become kings and queens. Nice. Such crazy times. Yes, it is crazy times. What's up, Matt? How are you, buddy? Check the community tab on it for updates. I wonder if the chaos isn't a distraction from the fluoride trial or the Epstein trial, you know, and that's another thing. You know, the media hops on all of this stuff, like the Floyd thing, I mean, around, it's like they propagate, they're out running around. Okay, now here's what I'm saying about the riots, right straight out. You're on the fucking street when looting and rioting is going on. You're contributing to it just by your presence. So you are in the wrong if you're out on the street when there's a fucking riot and looting going on. Period. You're part of it. You should be dealt with just like everybody else. So these news reporters are running around with cameras and shit. And then all of a sudden the news media is going to whop out on a black dude and say, "Oh, look at, he got arrested and he's just a news anchor, or he's just a journalist." The fucking white reporters got arrested. I seen a couple of Asian reporters got arrested, you know, when I was doing the research. I mean, they were in the middle of the fucking riot and the looting. They should have been dealt with. Now, I'm not saying property is worth more than human life, and I'm not saying there wasn't a message sent by the looting or the rioting, because I think that's the only thing humanity ever responds to is death and carnage, you know, to grab hold of your imagination. Now, the media just jumps on. You look at, there's a black guy, and then all of a sudden, you know, NPR today is doing it. The freaking commercials are doing it. You know, they're following. It's like the Rodney King thing times 50. You know. So then it travels around the globe. Why? Because of the age of the information, the age of COVID. We're all locked up, anxious, unsure of our tomorrow, haven't spent our energy, and then all of a sudden we got something to align ourselves with and go nuts about. That's part of the recipe, you know. You guys talking sprayed on the cowards, easy to arrest. All this shit is to distract from what's going on up there. Yeah, up there. Yeah. How do you attain any spiritual truth if you are brain dead, drugged out zombie? Well, you can't. Right. And take complete control. What's above, so be below. Right. You've never stood in another man's shoes or saw things through his eyes or stood and watched with helpless hands while the heart inside you dies. Nice. I love that. So help your brother along the way, no matter where he starts. For the same God that made you made him too. These men with broken hearts. I love that, Paula. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. All green blood matters. Yes. And this is true. This is true. You know, and I'm not defending Chauvin or the cop by any means, because what he did was despicable. But walk a day in that man's shoes. You know, I hear he had power issues. He was a power tripper, but we know not, you know. You know, and oh, here's another thing. Recently there was a trucker that drove through a bunch of protesters on 35W here in my town in Minneapolis, and nobody really got hurt, but it looked like the guy made a mistake, was scared shitless, right, at the face of it. But now on the news, they're saying, get this now, they're saying he was a self-proclaimed KKK leader, the guy in the truck. They made that up 4 days later. Now, what's that all about? What's that all about? Yes. Yes, Thos. Jimmy Dore had the audio from the cars, the cops saying to run them over, and another cop said shoot them. We live in a holographic. Don't go down the rabbit hole, Steve. Right. You know what I mean? I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I'm staying out of that rabbit hole. Right. I'm staying out of that rabbit hole. Because that rabbit hole gets deep and deeper, deeper, deeper. So, might I share with you a bit of the Lord said to Moses, I am going to come to you in a dense cloud. Yet another reference to the pineal cloud in a work that repeats the same thing over and over is no surprise. You know, the cloud is the pineal light, you know. Here, what was I wanted to share this with you. Okay, now somebody asked me about gematria, and gematria is pretty profound, and I didn't realize it before that night. Now, rakatamata, deep hole and not focused on the real reason we live. Right. I like your haircut, Steve. Thank you. Right. If you go down the rabbit hole, at least leave breadcrumbs. Yes. The only thing I know for sure, I'm sick of all this shit. Yes. Right. Yes. What was I talking about? I asked a question. What was the question? Somebody refresh my memory. Somebody refresh my memory, please. I was talking about, what was I talking about? The light, or, you know. Come on, somebody refresh my memory. The serpent wisdom. Oh, gematria. Yeah. Gematria. Rakatamata was a word. It was New Year's Eve. And I was tripping out that year. It was my last time I ever really felt fear as far as being manipulated by the system. And this is what I've been battling with a few of you about, staying off that carnal mind path, the they and us, they and them type mentality. But somebody in chat said that word, architect, which is Travis, which is he changed his name to Salvatore Rakatamata now, but he said, type that word Rakatamata in the chat, and that word I had come to me in a dream or somehow came into my head the night before. Now I said, pump your brakes, stop, back the truck up. What was that about? Well, long story short, I typed that word into gematria, into geometrics or whatever, geometrics or whatever it's called. And what showed up was insane. It was the key to Shambhala. And the key to Shambhala is how the Emerald Tablets ends. You know, El Shabel, El Maquet, Hail Serben, Zen Ephraim, Quer El. That is the key to Shambhala. You know, it's just insane. Okay, so then I type in my name. My name comes back, the number 333, something like that. It was, but anyway, that word, Rakatamata, made me realize what I think the Mandela effect is set before us in our reality for. That all is not as it seems. And there is a divine plan or a divine energy at the helm. Whether you want to think, why would God do this and let that happen and let this happen? And, you know, God has nothing to do with creation. It's us that have everything to do with creation. And it's up to us in our free will to recreate that which creates us, to rise above the incarnation cycles, to be the light of the world, to have divine union with our ineffable self. And it's incumbent upon, I don't know if it's at the turn of every celestial cycle, if just one does it, it refreshes it. But I don't know if anybody's familiar with the cosmic, what is it, conformal cosmology or cyclical or conformal cyclical cosmology model by Roger Penrose, which is the twister theory, and that every universe is born from a previous universe, and that universe starts here. Our minds become the cosmos, becomes the place in which the seed to seed is enabled. The light of the world is born within us in the pineal event when our soul is ejaculated through the top of our head. You know, the serpent, the snake opening its mouth, just like it's Serpent Mound in Ohio. Just like the the mitre hat of the fish, and the fish hat of the Pope, of the clergy, is because we are fish out of water. Because the water is the chaotic waters of noon, the primal waters, until Mount Meru rises, the one mountain of truth that you find footing on, which is the pyramid. Now, I don't know how I got off on that tangent, but I don't know what I was talking about. Who's all here? The one giggity. This can be hell. Yes. To live in hell is to attain heaven. Brakatamata. Like Neo when he could see and become the one. What's up, Scratchy? Matrix, yes. That's easy for you to say. I also think we all are of real yeah, right. I think I've smoked too much. You can cheat and use shrooms, yes. Manna was shrooms. Manna was also the truth, the essence of light. You know, the true manna. Sustain on manna is the spirit of the Lord of you know, the all. I did a lot of LSD myself. Yes, Penrose, cosmic. Thank you. Now that model, it fits right in line with the pineal event, because the Big Bang is that bah moment, which is the eternal, infinite, timeless, dimensionless light that fills the world state. That bang. That's why they cannot find the beginning of the Big Bang, and they can't find out where the Big Bang started, and yada yada yada. Just like the story of Atlantis, you know, where there's no true evidence, but there's allegorical story, or you know, we personify aspects like Jesus and make them human, so we do not forget the stories. We embellish upon them, but we don't forget them, the base of them stories. Personification is one way humans remember. The burning bush is the light, yes. I went on Max Vision a couple weeks ago, 5 hours into 3. Wasn't very successful. Should have waited till later, but was live. Hey, what's up, Mark? We're part of the Blue Crew now. DMT makes shrooms seem like yeah, I heard Happy Asar Aquarius is now prepared transition, new earth is coming. Apparently DMT gives you geometric visuals. If this is true, this is maybe what gave the ancients the ideas of building pyramids, because the ancients did DMT. It could also be used to learn maths. But the pyramid, the Great Pyramid at Giza, actually is a Bible in physical form, meaning it's nothing but truth. It was a piezoelectric instrument. It was a hammer pump or whatever. It was a regulatory, like an acupuncture thing for the earth. It encodes numbers of the earth moon relationship to the cosmos in it, in all of the measurements. It is Osiris, if you look at it from the axis mundi perspective, because Osiris is the light of the world, is the only begotten, is the ultimate Cadman, or the ultimate Anu, the Adam Cadman, you know, personified through 7 stars, just like the Pleiades, you know, 7, you know, on and on and on. You know, the ancients, they knew way more as far as the essence of what reality truly is than we ever have, in my, you know, recollection anyway. You know, and I've only been into the esoteric scene for the last 3-4 years now, but it was like, when it presented itself to me, it made perfect sense. It's never a right or wrong thing. We get distracted, or other more important messages can be coming through. In the worst case, you are having fun increasing your intuition through practice. This is true. Everybody is on their personal path. That is what makes the path to God personal. And that's what makes your relationship with God personal. Now, God to you can be, you know, a goldfish in a fishbowl. It doesn't matter. As long as you understand the concept of God is the eternal, ineffable, thing that is all, if you follow me on that. What are you poking fun at now? This December 20th, 25th planet alignment is going down like the movie 2012, 2021. Yes, our Pluto the Destroyer, Nibiru, 10th planet. Now, you do know, yeah. Now, when did COVID start, guys? 1/13/2020. Remember? 1/13/2020 was the cross alignment that I was talking about for a year before that. Now, I didn't predict that the COVID was going to happen, but I did predict that something profound in our world was going to change. And I predicted that it was going to be, as far as consciousness and unified or said funneling of thought. Now, that funneling of thought may have been hijacked by, nefarious purposes like the media propagating the racial epithet, because if there's a freaking line drawn, humans have to pick a side. Don't ask me why, but it's just the way it is. Yes, the pyramid is the physical Bible on planet Earth, and it is representative of the primordial mound that first rose from the chaotic sea of noon. Jesus walking on water is the light crossing the abyss, the waters of noon, right? Now, the pyramid of Giza used to be surrounded by a river, and it would flood. It would be inundated every year. Hence the reason why the ibis bird was Thoth, because the ibis would come with the flood, because the ibis wasn't a dummy. The ibis knew that there'd be fish to eat when the inundation occurred. Now, the inundation went hand in hand with the spiritual aspect or the soul evolvement of man in their culture. Everybody thinks that the Egyptians were obsessed with death and that they had this cultish fetish with death, but it wasn't with death in the physical sense that they were originally focused on. It was death of the ego, death of the Satan within you that they were focused on. The heart and the feather is the ego in man being weighed. Is it heavier? Is the ego worth more to you than the love for all? That's the heart and the feather. I think the old priests were the ruling classes of the past and pre-government and government. Yes, we are moving into more light, no more darkness. It's still fascinated by the 432 link between the sun and the moon. Yes, that 432 link is everywhere. And the 12 and 60 counting system. Yes, the 12 days or on the first day of Christmas, 12 days of Christmas, the 12 months of the year, the 12 hours a day, 12 hours a night. Day means God. Night means void of spirit. So that is the yin and the yang represented in the sun and the moon, Isis, Osiris, right? And it's every layer. Every layer. The 5 is the process, the hero's journey of the clay to diamond state, as well as the 5 fingers on our hand. The philosopher has 4 fingers and a thumb, completely opposing each other. The thumb is not a finger, but when in coordination with the fingers, greatness is achieved. Right? The 4 becomes the 5th. The 4 becomes the 5th. The diamond or understanding of what truth is. is the fifth element. The bing, the aha of the pineal event, the capstone shining, beaming a beam into the heavens, right? What you see outside of you is you within you. Yeah. 12 zodiac signs, yes. 12 cranial nerves in our brains. What's up, Aaron? How are you, buddy? Half of 432 is 216. 216 plus 0. Yep. Bruce Lee, Leroy. Leroy Brown, the baddest man in the whole damn town. Meaner than old King Kong. Meaner than a junkyard dog. Because he's bad, bad. Leroy Brown, baddest cat in the whole damn town. Internet is new library of Alexandria. Enjoy it before they burn it. Ain't that the truth? That's what I mean when I say we all got superpowers. Right. The Egyptians didn't use miles as measurements. They didn't use you miles? I thought you were used by the Egyptians. They used the cubits back then. A cubit is what is it, from the tip of your fingers to your elbow? Is that what a cubit was? Only sexually. You were used and abused sexually by the Egyptians, huh? But the what were we talking about? I apologize for Jack not joining us tonight, but I thought we did pretty good. Gotta go, Steve. Thanks. Bye, chat people. Where are you going, Maxie? You having a show tonight? Shit is getting pretty freaking thick over here there, Aaron. How are you doing over there, bud? Later on, John. Thanks for coming, bud. Bedtime. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. God bless everyone, right? Remember those? Yeah, I thought we did pretty good. I'd like to say, mighty spirit of light that shines through the cosmos, draw my flame closer in harmony to thee. Lift up my fire from out of the darkness, magnet of fire that is one with thee all. Lift up my soul, thou mighty and potent. Child of the light, turn not away. Draw me in power to melt in thy furnace. One with all things and all things in one. Fire of the life strain, and one with the brain. And, in closing, I like to say, live inward, love outward, nothing can faze you. You are where you need to be. Everything is as it should be. Find the stillness within you. Know your number will be called. If you fervently strive for truth, the truth will present itself to you. I humbly do what I do because I care and I love all of you. I do care. I make nothing out of this but satisfaction, contentment that I've tried, that I've applied myself to yearning for what truth brings. And that truth within you is the truth within me. We are all together, you see. We are all one thing only. One for one, one for one. Always and forever will be. Together for eternity. Love, peace, chicken grease, y'all. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Scratch. Thank you, the one. Yes, there is tons of pain and truth. Hush, little baby, don't say a word, and never mind the noise you heard. It's just the beast under your bed, in the closet, in your head. That's Enter Sandman, isn't it? Later on, Menza. Later on, Thoth. Later on, Paula. Love you, sweetheart. Matt, Scratchy. Thank you guys for joining. You know, sorry it wasn't the full show. Yep. I love you guys. You know, we will get there. Just be not anxious, for the day is long. The road could be strewn with obstacles from that way to there. But know that if you keep forward your eyes in the light of the day, the night cannot beseech you. The light will show you the way. Well, later on, folks.